welcome by For the Passion, Not the Fashion, the YouTube channel. We are here at the Globe, at a very busy location in northern England, Newcastle. It's a live club here, and we're gonna see Dacases from England, and we're gonna see Fury, also from England. And Fury is playing as the bass player of Fury is Becky, and she will do an interview with me, or I will do an interview with her. Anyway, let's go in. This is the Globe, the club where they're gonna play tonight in Newcastle, England. So join me, follow me, and rock on. For the Passion, Not the Fashion, live on location. Welcome by For the Passion, Not the Fashion, the YouTube channel. We are here on location in Newcastle to interview a band called Fury. And Fury are from England as well, from Manchester.
Birmingham.
Oh my God, he told me in Manchester, so...
Midlands.
Midlands, anyway.
There might be another band.
Anyway, guys, and guys, girls. Anyway, in America they say guys.
Yeah.
So, hey, it's welcome to meet you folks here in the up North England.
Absolutely. Pleasure to meet you too.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's an honor. A very last chat. I planned very last minute to do this, so a little bit nervous to do it, but anyway, think you are all. It's all anyway. Hey, first I want to ask you. You were started in 2017, right? As the band.
So I joined in 2017.
Yeah.
The band's been going since, I don't know.
About 2010. But yeah.
Yeah, but as Fury. But it was first. You started as not a band and changed name in Fury in 2017, right?
Holden Fury. He's giving bad information. But Becky joined in 2017. So,
yeah.
So I guess the band really started in 2017.
That's what he told me. He told me we did an interview with Becky, and he said they started in 2017. Yeah, with Becky, but now the band was already active before. So anyway, that's very amateurish. So
2010.
2010, old fox. So
yeah.
Except anyway, can you please introduce yourself to our viewers? First, I start with you.
Yeah, I'm Julian Jenkins. I try and sing, and I play some guitar as well.
Then Becky.
I'm Becky Baldwin, I'm the bass player.
I'm Naya, I do backing vocals.
I'm Jake Ella, and I'm lead guitar.
I'm Tom, and I play the drums.
And that's great. Marco and I ask stupid questions. Anyway.
So I'll give stupid answers.
Okay. Hey, well, when a question I made for Becky, but then I want to hear it from all of you. When did your love for heavy music started? Can you all give a little?
Yeah. For me, it wasn't until I was in high school actually. So I was about 14, and a friend of mine. I'd sort of gravitated towards the sort of the alternative people, and so it was just the skating scene was big at the time, and so all wearing all the big jeans with the flared bottoms and the Vans trainers or whatever. And anyway, a mate of mine lent me. He was like, "Oh, you got to listen to this CD," and it was Metallica S&M, with the orchestra. And so I took it home that night and I listened to it, and I was just like, "Wow, this is the most incredible thing I've ever heard." And I think the next day I went into school. I was like, "Oh, we've got to be in a band," and even though none of us could play the instruments.
I remember this.
But yeah, and that's really where it started for me.
Cool. And you, Becky?
For me, it was I was at a carnival and I was watching the floats go by and they had like music on and stuff. And it was just some people dancing, dressed as skeletons, dancing to Alice Cooper's Poison.
Oh wow.
And I was like, I'd never heard like heavy music before. I mean, it's only like I guess like rock, classic rock kind of stuff, but like the combination of like the horror stuff, the skeletons, the dancing, which I was already into like musical theatre and stuff like that. So. And I loved horror films, so it kind of made sense to move over to rock music then. And over time, I just slowly kind of was drawn more towards like Black Sabbath and Motorhead and stuff like this. So that by the time I was about like 11, 12, I was just like, yes, I only listen to Metallica now. Any band newer than the 90s is like dead to me. I was really like, just. Not very open-minded at the time as well about it. It was bad.
You got over that phase though, right?
Well, I'm much better now, but
old school music is the best.
Yeah.
It's still the best. Movies also, everything is old school the best.
yes.
And you?
So I got into alternative music when I was about 13, 14. It was a lot of screamo and like emo stuff.
Yeah.
And then I listened to one band who did a cover of Holy Diver by Dio. And I thought, oh my God, this is so much better than everything else they do.
Great.
You know, why didn't anything else sound like this? I realised it was by Dio, and I went and I listened to every single song he'd ever made, and I was like, this is it, this is fantastic. I need to do more of this.
Was it not Cradle of Filth who did a cover by Hollow to be the name?
I know Machine Head did a couple.
No, Cradle
No,
too.
they
Cradle
did,
too.
yeah.
Cradle did too.
But it was Killswitch Engage, I heard, and they did a cover of Holy Diver, and that's when I got into the classic stuff.
Great. And you stayed there.
Yeah, I stumbled backwards into them.
I think for me it was I think it was 6 or 7. The first ever Guitar Hero came out on PlayStation 2.
I heard the story more often by people.
Yeah, and then it was I think it was the last song, the hardest song of it was Bark at the Moon, and it was just and in the video game he like ascends and shreds and flies in the sky, and I was like, I want to do that. So I learned how to play guitar on a guitar that only had like one string for like 2 years. Learning Smoke in the Water and Iron Man and stuff, and I was obsessed with metal since then.
So when we make millions, that's what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, I want to fly.
Ascending.
I want to fly above everyone and
Yeah, kind of a similar avenue. I was into Vice City. The mixtape on that, man. Like the metal station alone, you had Ozzy, Slayer, Motley Crue, Maiden.
Yeah, the good ones.
I didn't really understand it at the time, but that's what got me really into it.
Cool.
Well, I think it was a couple of years later I discovered the Black Album and just took it from there.
Yeah.
But I can trace it back to Vice City and all the music on that game. Great.
I think my first full metal album was the Black Album. It's
Yeah.
just like from start to finish.
On vinyl?
Yeah, actually.
The vinyl is pretty hard to get actually. It's from 1991. So it's,
I think my
it's
dad
already-
sold it now.
Oh, your dad sold your record?
No, it was his record.
Okay.
So I listened to it on vinyl, and then I think he sold loads of records, and we needed some money. Cool.
Hey, actually, you planned a tour, and the tour is gonna take, right? It's gonna. You planned countries like France, Germany, Belgium.
Yes. Yeah. In September.
In September. Are you excited to come to Europe?
Oh
Or
yeah.
is this Europe actually?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the first time over there, other than just the festival we've been doing in Switzerland,
Yeah.
Rock,
Great.
for the last few years. So yeah, this time we're actually going to go venue to venue.
Nice,
It's gonna be
nice.
exciting.
You're gonna play Little Devil, my hometown bar.
No. If you can put a word in,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine.
Well,
we need
there
some
you go.
help.
Can
But
I do?
Yeah.
Hey Johnny, my friend from Belgium. Man, I will talk to you and let's bring those girls and guys to Holland and Belgium. You can do it. I know you can do it. Okay.
There you go.
Well, and you have a big fan. He's always talking about you, always. And I'm very narrow-minded, so I have to they have to push me in new music, you know, and of course I like it, but but he was like, listen this, and we the whole way from IJmuiden to now actually his house in Alkmaar, near Alkmaar, Zandam. The whole way we played your latest record the whole time.
Oh wow.
So you're sick of it now, huh?
And the first time I said you have a ballad on it, right?
Yes.
And the first time I was hearing it, I was like, But later I can appreciate it, really, yeah. But it was different, you know, for me. And I'm sorry, it was listen to this song. Yeah, I'm the biggest fan in Holland.
Fantastic, thank you.
But it's great.
Welcome.
It's a great record.
Thank you very much.
Well, now I'm gonna take a personal question for you. You are together with Luca Appleton, right?
Yeah.
You're a couple, right?
Yeah.
And Luca is known from Absolva. He's worked with Absolva.
Yeah.
And being friends with Blaze from
Yes.
Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
I did an interview with him too. Great guy.
Okay.
Also a very long chat with him
Yeah.
about his big career.
Yes.
Yeah. And well, how do you manage this together? So I heard he's rehearsing right now.
Yes. Yeah. So he was meant to be coming on more of our tour dates because we like his help and stuff. Yeah. We've been like getting him on to do the merch and stuff for us.
Nice.
But you know, he's very useful with with everything basically. Because I mean, he spends so much time on tour with all of his bands. He knows exactly what we need, and he's just like on it, like 2 steps ahead of us. So yeah. But you know, we like to have him when we can. But again, he's touring a lot, so.
I stirred.
Yeah. I mean, you know, not anymore.
Not anymore.
He had that on his how you call it, like
CV.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing. I stirred, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Blaze Bailey also.
So he's still touring a lot, and
Nice.
but you know, we just kind of, you know, we'll help each other, we'll go to each other's gigs if we can, but if we can't, then we'll just go our separate ways and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's the best thing in a relationship, I think.
Time apart.
Well, it's also good. I also keep distance. And we also kept distance today, so we are also like a couple sometimes. Really, so today I said, Ed, you go there, I go there, you know? It's friendship too, you know? Anyway, also for you this question. You also have another very active band called Hands of Gretel.
Yeah.
They were also very active. How do you manage this between two bands who are considering they're also always touring, right? And how do you do this with planning?
Well, I guess it is just planning really. It's like knowing which band is going to have their releases at which time and when they're going to be doing the recording process, because I mean, you don't want to be on the road constantly. I mean, I guess because the bands are still quite like developing like last few years, we have had to be on the road like as much as possible. But soon we're going to start settling into more like an album cycle, like bring out an album, tour, and then write and record, which both bands will need time for writing and recording. So that means the other band can do that, because I've not really needed there the whole time for the writing. Only for like, you know, a couple of weeks to get my bass done, and then so I can like work it around each band's touring schedule. It's just like they're just sticking to that schedule. So the plan is easy. Sticking to the plan is hard. Like our Grand Prize album, we kept pushing it back, and ended up the bands were releasing their releases like a week apart. And it was like, oh no, how's this gonna work? And then it was like, oh, it's a lockdown, doesn't matter.
That was easy.
That made it easy. Like there's no touring, no clashing tour dates now because nobody's touring.
You released a new album in March 18.
Yeah.
It's called Born to Sin. And I already hear it like millions of times. Thanks to that. How is it different compared to the other albums? Do you think there's a different ID concept?
I think like, I mean, we always seem to have a clear, defined theme for each album, and this time, you know, we went for very classic kind of heavy metal, the selling your soul to the devil, and you know, because I say we hadn't done that before. We'd done spaceships and wizards and race cars and whatever it is. But this time, okay, let's just go sort of straight on, you know, have a devil riding on a motorbike or whatever it is, and, you know, have these songs about selling your soul. And then musically, you know, to kind of match that, I think the music's a bit chunkier, a bit heavier.
You said old school's the best, and we kind of went for that.
Yeah, that's it.
We divided some opinions and things on Grand Prize, and then we were like, right, what do you like then?
Yeah.
You
Whatever,
want
there you
just
go.
like Judas Priest inspired album cover? Let's just do all that, and then we'll just like sneak in one little ballad.
Yeah.
Smooth over it with like some thrash metal at the end. Just mad at us.
I love a good power ballad. You know?
It's
It's
great.
great.
Good.
Hey, and you know about your scene, because I know England was. I'm a big new wave of British heavy metal collector and fan, and it was heavy metal started here in England. But I come here since when I was a child in the late 80s, because my father worked here in Newcastle. Yeah, so I saw it less active year by year. How do you feel it? Do you think there's still that breeding scene like it was back in 1980, or do you think it's really going? Is it not the same anymore?
What, not that old.
No, you're not. How do you see? Okay, I'm a little bit older, but how do you see? How do you think that the English scene is? Is it really active? Are there many people coming to shows and?
Yeah,
And,
I feel like it's not quite as much. Like I don't think people value going out as much as they did, which obviously is going to have an impact on the bands and like what kind of turnouts they get. Because more people, less people have the money to go out to bars, and their social life is more online, or you know they'll if they want to unwind, they'll watch TV, play video games, chat online, do stuff like that. They don't go out to pubs as much as the kind of finish work, go to the bar, see what's on, live music, great. And so I guess in some ways scenes don't develop because there aren't as many people going out. I think.
Yeah.
I think as well. I mean, my dad obviously used to go to gigs when he was young and he was sort of a teenager. And I mean, for one thing is a lot of gigs now is 18 plus anyway, so kids can't actually go to gigs. No. So it's like, well, you know,
that's when you're ripe and you're ready for metal.
Yeah.
I was metal when I was a child, so
well, this is it. And this is it. I mean, he says, he went to see Iron Maiden when he was like 15, like by himself, and paid a £5 to go see him at Birmingham. And now, and obviously prices.
Birmingham was a great city back in the day. All the great Napalm Death, Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, they're all Birmingham, right?
Yeah. But and then it's obviously that's one thing. It's like, well, how can you sort of cultivate a whole new generation of people getting into it? And they do, but I think it's probably more difficult because kids can't go to. I say kids, say teenagers, young teenagers.
Kids.
They can't go.
Stay kids.
But they can't go to gigs, and I think it's certainly now where it's more difficult, like Becky was saying, to get people to come out.
Yeah.
Because there's Netflix and there's Sky and the internet and everything. There's a lot of competition, but we keep trying and
You think why I think this and why I say this? Because England was so the bands nowadays. It's even harder to get popular. Back in the day, England was the whole market, the whole world was focused on England, and I think that's because you're a great band and Obsolva, and there are many other great bands like the band Influencers, the band called, what's the other band I saw? Toledo Steel.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that. All great bands, but I see there's not the best PR for that, For the new generation, I think.
It's difficult because we'll do shows. I mean, for example, we've done this festival in Switzerland for the last 4 years, and we seem to have quickly developed a massive fan base over there. Whereas obviously in the UK we've been playing live for well over a decade. And don't get me wrong, I think we've cultivated a fan base, but it's been a lot slower and a lot more sort of gradual, I think. And obviously part of that has been a learning curve because we've not always been, I guess, the best at marketing ourselves.
It's very important for.
This is it. But it's
There's loads of competition.
There is loads of competition as well.
And that was always in England. England was always full of bands, But
now, like I say, there's competition from the bands and there's competition from everything else. Like I say, you know, people can do whatever they want these days. You know, they can stay home and watch a gig.
Yeah.
I know. To me, it's not the same, but some people, you know, some people.
Hey, I want to also ask you a little bit about your other. Are you is somebody else playing in another band or have another project?
I think everyone apart from me.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody except
for
you. Okay. Yeah, just give a shout. Make
Oh,
promo for your
also
other bands.
Brassic, and we just sort of play angry, fast punk.
Oh, right. That's also
So
great.
both bands like to play fast. They've got a type.
That's you already.
Yeah.
That's what.
It's like me and Naya are in a kind of tongue-in-cheek band. It's a tribute band to Manowar called Wonderwall.
Yeah.
I put my lipstick on, I put a dress on.
Yeah.
So does Matt from the Kisses.
Yeah.
And
That's it.
yeah, it's all funny.
Great.
Yeah, and I do some covers as well in a band. I do some like soul and blues and rock
Okay,
stuff.
open-minded.
Yeah, I do more than just that. I love
Cool. Becky, I know, and but you also had Hansel and Gretel and another band, right?
Oh yeah, I used to be in a band called Dorsia. I had a band called I Destroy. I've had a few bands over the years. Triaxis.
Triaxis, we played in the car. Yeah.
Oh yes,
Actually,
Okay.
you only listen to our CD.
I bought a big present today. I bought Carpe Diem from Saxon for him.
Oh right, yeah.
He didn't play. He only wanted to play young. Anyway, I want to ask you if there's any English bands around who you like to highly recommend to check out for everybody, like except for Fury, of course.
Oh,
F Fury, of course. I can do it, but another band.
Yeah, Primatine, great bands. Sort of from sort of London kind of way. Absolver, of course.
Absolver.
Yeah.
Sorry, so I left that for you. Like,
I'm sure they already know them.
obviously,
They said they've already.
Oh, you got
that's
Yeah.
true.
Rights to Ruin if you like.
Yeah.
Rights to
Oh,
Ruin,
yeah.
yeah.
We've got our friends at the Kisses, of course.
Yeah, the Kisses were meant to be playing tonight, but
They're great.
sadly they have
They're
COVID.
progressive one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the Tales of Prague, Insurgent, they're an up-and-coming band. A couple of my mates, and they're doing some good bits.
Great.
Fire Garden as well. Fire Garden from Sheffield.
Sheffield. Like Def Leppard coming from.
Yeah.
My
so-
favorites. Hey, I think we have to go.
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk if you have just.
Oh yeah, well, I think the
plans.
doors
Yeah, do
But
some-
anyway,
Oh, God,
thank
yeah.
you for watching. Thank you for keep liking and subscribing and sharing our channel. And I want to give those guys in general, guys and ladies in general, a big shout and a big thanks for having this chat with you. If you don't mind, I make some live shots tonight and edit this in the video as well. And I hope the club will be full so I can have this great atmosphere.
Yeah.
But you can, I'm sure, if there's no people, then I will, Ed will go everywhere. So, so
It's all worthwhile just to play.
yeah. Okay, like, share, subscribe now. Thank you for watching, man. Rock on. From Newcastle, England. We are here with Brad from
Boz!
Anyway, hey, are you happy to be on concerts again?
Absolutely. It's been a long time coming, and I'm absolutely stoked to be at gigs and performing at gigs.
Really, really, because you have your own band too, eh?
Yeah, we do. I got a what they call a stoner metal band. But
Stoner, Doom, Sludge,
Doom,
like
yeah. We've done gigs with. Hey!
Pros, yeah, you do
We've supported. Bloodstock have just announced that Desert Storm are going to be. But we've supported Desert Storm. We supported King Witch, Dog Tired, Mint Band, Iron Altar, my favourites. We've supported all those, and we're absolutely mega happy to be back on stage again.
Great. And what are you here for tonight?
I'm here for Fury.
And are they great?
Fucking Fury are the fucking best hard rock band you're gonna see ever.
In England and abroad.
Self-belief 100%, the mint as you like.
Okay, thank you very much. And is this our last beer or our first beer?
I've lost count.
Pros, bro. Hi, Phil. No, that's a local one, eh?
This is dog, but not local to me.
I cannot do it not too long because of copyright. So.
Oh yes.
Thank you very much.
Grinding, my wheels keep turning, but no one's trying to go and rescue me. Go and set me free. Go and rescue me. Get stuff from burning. I'm burning my house. Get stuff from burning house. I'm burning house. See your face, and we're still the same. I always knew need a get up, so I've never seen my grace. You're in time that I've never lied with you. Oh, yeah, there's just one thing you can do. Tell me who are you? 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 For each other was so many else. Share the good times and the pain. Through it all, we have made it here. Just so glad to see you, my grace. Together again, I know there's nothing more we can go. It's a big time. I'm trying to fall for it, I can feel it. I didn't know this was true. What's for you, Lord? It's coming on. Make you feel like to be the one coming on. To save your mind. I can't go. There's no things deep in your soul. Next time you feel it on, just stop to find a stop. So sing it's not my love. Every night, every station. in your spot.